Abandoned places attract many thrill seekers and curious people. There is something spooky and tempting at the same time about walking through forgotten corridors and houses where nobody's lived for many years. But abandoned houses, hospitals, and other buildings are nothing compared to abandoned amusement parks. That's where the real horror is. Peeling paint, creaking of old carousels, desolation, loneliness. We invite you to experience the atmosphere and see the most famous abandoned amusement parks from around the world. Let's get it on. In Japan, there's an abandoned amusement park, Nara Dreamland, whose abandoned look scares many tourists. The opening of the park took place in 1961, and it was open for just over 40 years, and was closed due to low attendance and huge losses. On August 31st, 2006, all employees of the park and the flying guests left this great place and didn't come back again. During a walk in this park, you might feel like it was deserted overnight. All the attractions are well preserved and in an old abandoned buildings. You can even find slot machines with toys and a lot of other equipment like coffee machines. Today, however, trees sprouted in many of these buildings and the attractions are covered with twine plants and grass. The park has a huge area, and this was another reason for its closure because the land in Japan is extremely expensive. Today, the entrance to the Nara Dreamland is completely prohibited. The park is surrounded by a high fence with barbed wire and guarded by police around the clock, and they scare away fans of abandoned places, not only by threatening them with penalties. They can even fire without warning. Experienced visitors to the park are advised not to defy their luck, but if you do need a dose of adrenaline, then the best time to visit the Nara Dreamland will be the dawn or the snowiest day of the year. "20 miles northwest from downtown Beijing, you can find the ruins of a partially built amusement park located next to a busy highway right on a cornfield. The park was supposed to become the Konakiri right now. Near Huzizina, Nechawima, Industry, largest amusement park in Asia. But the construction stopped in 1998 after disagreements arose between local authorities and farmers. Yes, it's all about the money. The authors of the project tried to restart the construction in 2008, but unfortunately couldn't do it. The amusement park has turned into a ghost park, visited by apocalypse lovers. However, the locals are not happy and refuse to show the way, but nothing stops the tourists. After all, it's quite difficult to miss this huge park in the middle of a field. But every year Wonderland is decaying more and more. The ruins of the unfinished castle look creepy. Asphalt in the park has got cracks in it, paths are overgrown with grass, and everything is covered with dust. In 1976, in Orlando, Florida, the first Walt Disney World was opened. In the best years of its life, it could brag of having 6 water slides, a lake with a sandy bottom, an underwater river, and other entertainment. Many visitors of river country still have really happy memories about it. At the end of the 2001 season, the park closed as planned. In 2002, with the arrival of summer, it was supposed to open its doors, but something went wrong. Neither in 2002, nor in 2003, nor in 2004. River Country wasn't open despite the hopes of fans. In the end, on the 20th of January 2005, it was announced that the world's first themed water park was closed forever. Disney never properly explained their decision, and of course, it generated a lot of different theories, ranging from security issues due to too much depth and dangerous amoebae living in the water to actions of their rivals. But the most surprising thing is that the park has not been dismantled, although Disney definitely does have the resources. Instead, River Country just slowly collapses under the influence of time, nature, and new adventurers adventurers. Have you seen the movie Zombieland? So, the amusement park Six Flags looks like the perfect background for the final scenes because it's located in New Orleans and got badly damaged by Hurricane Katrina. Six Flags was opened in 2000, and everything was going great. It had several owners over the years, until in 2005, New Orleans was struck by Mother Nature. As a result, Six Flags was completely flooded for a month. 80% of the buildings and attractions of the park were destroyed or corroded by seawater with no chance of recovery. The only attraction that was lucky to survive, as its high platform remained above water, was Batman the Ride roller coaster. Today, 13 years later, the abandoned area of the park looks like a real post-apocalyptic landscape. Visitors are greeted by a broken clown with a creepy smile, and from being a crowded and fun place, the park turned into a desert landfill, with ruined carousels and abandoned buildings. Amusement park in Pripyat, perhaps one of the most popular places in the Ukrainian city of Pripyat, abandoned because of the Chernobyl accident, is its amusement park. It consists of a Ferris wheel, a carousel, cars and boats. Of course, the most attention is attracted to the wheel, and not only because it can be seen from afar. The fact is, it never worked. Not counting test runs, the attraction was planned to open for visitors on May 1st, 1986, but only 5 days before the scheduled date, the disaster at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant happened. Today, the radiation in this place ranges from 100 to 1,000 ECR per hour. The limit was exceeded hundreds of times. This is one of the most contaminated areas in Pripyat. The wheel, as well as other attractions, is gradually being destroyed. Nature takes its course, and the park is slowly overgrown with trees. But in 2017, Polish tourists managed to run the world-famous attraction mechanically, without the use of electricity. However, most likely, the wheel didn't do a full circle, but only moved a little, and shooting from different angles made it possible to achieve an amazing and a bit eerie effect. A working attraction in a completely desolate city. Spree Park. This amusement park was opened in 1969 in East Berlin, near the Spree River. It was the only one amusement park in the GDR. Back then, it was known as the Kulturpark Planewald, Berlin. In 1991, after the German reunification, the park was transferred to a private owner. But soon, Spree Park was overgrown, with millions of debts. The owners couldn't pay off the debts. So in 21, Spree Park was declared bankrupt, finally closing in 2002. Part of the amusement park was taken out of Germany on the pretext of repairs, but most of the carousels remained in their places. Over time, trains, carousels, cars, and a huge Ferris wheel have grown rusty. Railways overgrown with bushes and the pond with weed. The roller coaster partially collapsed. And the dinosaurs are now extinct. Their figures are life-size, many of them upside down now, and they can be found in different areas of the park. In 2014, on the territory of the Spree Park, there was a fire that destroyed some of the old buildings. There's no more music in the park. When you don't hear children laughing, the only thing that can ride the wheel is the wind, and the creepy creaking of the old rusted parts gives you goosebumps. Daddy Park. This park, located in the center of the Belgian town of Dadezele, was opened by local pastor Gaston de Villa in the 50s. From being a small playground for tourists, it grew into an independent theme park with water slides, a carousel, and other attraction. In short, Inudami, Ader everything you need for fun and relaxation. Despite the fact that Daddy Park was one of the cheapest and available parks, it wasn't particularly safe, and in the end, it was closed for this reason. Sometimes there were accidents in the park, and one of them was the last for Daddy Park. In 2002, Daddy Park was closed for renovations, and 10 years later, they began dismantling and demolishing the buildings. Joyland. There was a time when Joyland was one of the largest amusement parks in Kansas. But today that's hardly possible to believe. Daddy Park. The park was opened in 1949 and brought joy to its guests for 55 years, until 2004, when it had to close. Due to economic and safety problems, one visitor fell from the Ferris wheel and suffered serious injuries. In its heyday, Joyland had over 24 rides and attractions, roller coasters, miniature trains, and even a military organ orchestra, but all of it was forgotten and abandoned. In 2006, they did some preventive work in order to find opportunities to reopen the park, but it stopped there. Today, the organization that owns the park raises funds and donations for the restoration of Joyland. But let's be honest, looking at the devastation that reigns in the park, would you believe that it may open its doors for visitors again someday? Georgia Lake. The history of the Georgia Lake Park is very similar to most stories of abandoned parks. It was founded in 1887 in the recreational area near Georgia Lake in Ohio. In 1889, the first attractions appeared, and over the next 100 plus years, the park constantly changed owners and even names. In the end, financial problems arose and Georgia Lake gradually began to close. All this has led to the fact that it was put up for auction in parts, many of which are still being sold. Today, the amusement park that gave such pleasant memories to generations of people looks more like the set of The Walking Dead than a place to have some fun. Encore Garden. Before the earthquake in 1999, Encore Garden was the most popular theme park in the region of Taichung. In addition to a playground and an open theater, the distinctive features of this place were a cinema with a water curtain and dancing fountains. It had really cool attractions for that time, and they attracted many tourists. A veil of water was created.
Big thanks for spending time with me today. Hit subscribe if you want more awesome content. Comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And don't keep this to yourself. Share it.